Hey, yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel, keeping you updated on all the latest wrestling news coverage. Lots to talk about today with WWE confirming Ric Flair's release, a top superstar's contract coming up within the next following weeks. We got some quick hot news and reports to talk about everything that went down on this week's Monday Night Raw and more. But before getting into it, hit those notifications, and if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel for more of our wrestling news coverage, WWE 2K22 content, and so on. And after all the releases this year, you will think that WWE is done with that, but no, this week started off with a lot of big reports of superstars getting let go and certain contracts coming up right after SummerSlam. That first major report is of course about Ric Flair. WWE finally made it official today that they have come to terms on the release of Ric Flair. So Ric Flair is no longer with the company. The prior reports indicated that the WWE Hall of Famer asked to be let go out of his deal, and WWE granted his request. Ric Flair reportedly grew frustrated with certain booking decisions on the show and voiced his opinion. And now we got extra updates specifying more of these real reasons up to why Ric Flair wanted out. On the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that the WWE Hall of Famer voiced his opinion about the way WWE have been booking his daughter Charlotte on television and sent a text message to Vince McMahon about it. As to what exactly Ric Flair was upset about, we don't really know, but there is a couple of reports. Some are indicating that it was how WWE handled Charlotte's situation heading into WrestleMania, which of course she missed this year. Other reports indicate that Ric Flair wasn't too happy with his own booking that they give him when it was him and Lacey Evans going after his daughter Charlotte Flair. And we remember that storyline, and looking back at it, it did look like Ric Flair was uncomfortable doing a lot of things that he was doing in that, and Charlotte Flair didn't really look too happy doing that storyline as well. It just felt uncomfortable all around. In the end, it was Vince McMahon to let go of Ric Flair, but reports do indicate that they agreed to this release. It was a mutual agreement. It is unclear what type of non-compete clause Ric Flair has in his contract, as of course he's not an active competitor, he's a legend with a special type of deal, but it could still mean that he might not be able to show up anywhere else for the time being. But it's worth mentioning that Ric Flair was hanging out with Jim Ross last week, which is not a surprise as they are friends, but the timing of it just sounds very interesting. Now let's go ahead and catch up and talk some quick news. PW Insider says that Vince McMahon and Bray Wyatt's relationship ran very hot and cold at times, and Nick Khan has been given the ability to run things more than anyone ever before, and that could be one of the reasons why ultimately Vince McMahon did let go of Bray Wyatt, as he continued to rely on Nick Khan and the type of decisions that he is making. USA Network and also Fox Network were not happy about Bray Wyatt getting released because they know he's rating and they know he's one of the best talents in the roster. So I'm pretty sure Vince McMahon is gonna have to be hearing that quite a bit. Adding to this, Fightful Select indicate that they were told the creative team was informed Bray Wyatt was getting protective over his character after what he saw were poor creative decisions and ideas. They also ended up adding that many members of the creative team didn't actually talk to Bray Wyatt himself and weren't sure if it was hearsay. And let's be honest, can you blame Bray Wyatt? He created a character that needs to be treated very delicate, much like The Undertaker. So when you have this man lose the title against Goldberg, of course you're gonna get defensive. This is his creative idea that is getting ruined. I could book a better Fiend in my WWE 2K20 universe mode, and we all know how broken that is. Just to make things worse, adding to all of this, following Bray Wyatt's release and a couple of the other releases, Andrew Sarian ended up indicating that the morale in WWE is once again low, as a lot of superstars in the roster are really disappointed and honestly a little bit scared that top stars like Bray Wyatt are being let go. Another superstar that seems to be on his way out is Adam Cole. We got multiple reports indicating that Adam Cole contract is coming up right after SummerSlam, and the only reason why we are seeing him on NXT right now is because he signed an extension extension following the last takeover because he wanted to finish this current storyline with Kyle O'Reilly. They of course got a match at SummerSlam weekend at that takeover, so that could be the last time that we get to see him. With his wife being one of the top talents on AEW, dare I say that we will probably be seeing him on Wednesday nights, unless some way somehow Triple H managed to keep him on NXT. There's also reports indicating that some officials in WWE that can't believe Adam Cole's contract has not been reviewed or just worked out on. Apparently they let it get to this stage without realizing that his contract was just coming up, that he just signed an extension. And we're talking about Adam Cole here, who literally been a top player in NXT for over 4 years now. Imagine some of the other talents that are lower in the card. On to some other news. Monday Night Raw was certainly interesting this week. Of course, it was from Chicago, so you knew there were going to be some CM Punk chants. Kevin Dunn did try to stop it though, and a lot of times he succeeded. Some other times he didn't, and we got some big production botch. At one point in Drew McIntyre's entrance, you could hear Michael Cole, who is supposed to be on SmackDown. This was obviously a botch, but I guarantee you guys that they were trying to get some older audio to play over Drew McIntyre's entrance, who, let's be honest, he doesn't need any piping crowd noises. But nonetheless, they botched it and played the wrong thing. We had a lot of Bray Wyatt chants, especially during the initial segment and when Alexa Bliss appeared on the screen. So I can guarantee you that I didn't hear a word that Goldberg was saying, because all I could hear was "We want Wyatt" in the crowd. They couldn't pipe that in. They did pipe in a bunch of Goldberg chants though. There were a couple of instances where of course the crowd was going to chant for CM Punk. One of the ones that was the most obvious was when Damian Priest was talking in the Miz TV. You could see that he felt a little bit weird and that he almost forgot what he was supposed to say, because the crowd was loud with the CM Punk chant, and I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be louder than that, but of course WWE toned it down. With that said, let's go ahead and discuss the quick results of this week's Monday Night Raw. The show started off with Goldberg reissuing his SummerSlam challenge to WWE Champion Bobby Lashley, which all led to MVP getting in the face of Goldberg's son, who was by the crowd, and Goldberg came out again and speared him. So I guess the match is official now. We had Drew McIntyre defeating Veer and Shanky via disqualification in a handicap match. Drew McIntyre almost split them in half as this man was about to attack them with the sword. I don't know what WWE was trying to tell me right there, but Drew was about to do something in national television. We had Rhea Ripley defeating Nia Jax, and I gotta say props to Nia Jax for ending the match because she got busted open heavy. They continued to tease at the dissension between Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Mason T-Bar defeated Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. Tamina defeated Doudrop in one-on-one competition. Damian Priest defeated John Morrison, which all led to Damian Priest and Ricochet defeating Sheamus and John Morrison in tag team competition. Cause you know, Raw is 3 hours, so they gotta fill up sometimes. We had Almost defeating Riddle. No AJ Styles here tonight. Keith Lee defeated Karrion Kross. For the third week in a row, they're booking Karrion Kross in a match that we don't want to see him lose, and we don't want to see him win, because the opponent also needs a win. That opponent, of course, being Keith Lee. 50-50 booking kicked in here. Keith Lee brought out the card, and of course, he won the match. We had Reggie defeated Akira Tozawa in a 24/7 championship match. And then for the main event, the Raw Women's Champion Nikki, almost a superhero, defeated Charlotte Flair in a no-holds-barred match. So at the end of this match, we got to see Charlotte Flair going through a table and Nikki hitting a rope-assisted suplex to finally score the one-on-one victory against the 11-time Women's Champion. 11 times because, of course, her NXT title reigns do not count according to WWE. So that's basically what went down on this week's Monday Night Raw and all the latest news. If you guys enjoyed or found it informative and want more wrestling coverage alongside WWE 2K22 news, subscribe to the channel and hit those notifications. I'll catch you on the next one, so stay savage.